See a major, a low arsenal of nothing but bomb, 50 yards, 60 yards, 45 yards. It's over with.
Fires into the end zone, able to be caught. Touchdown, back in the end zone. Brian Thomas Jr. Now he steps forward. Trevor's going to run it if he wants. He's going to run it forward. He's along the left sideline. Trevor's into the end zone. Touchdown. He ran it in. A 15-yard touchdown. Firing downfield, the ball's going to be caught. Rolling into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for Bayshell Toot. Fires once ETN near the goal line. He dives for it. Touchdown. They snuck Travis ETN out of the backfield, and he scored a touchdown with 21 seconds to play and a half. How good is that? Fire. That's ETN in the middle of the field. Caught. Touchdown. Yet another touchdown pass for Trevor Lawrence. Yet another touchdown catch for Travis Etienne, and the Jags have extended the lead, an 8-yard score. Inside of their stays on his feet, 30-yard line, 25, along the near sideline, 10, 5, touchdown! Travis Etienne has scored again from 45 yards away. How good is that?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in midweek as we shift our attention away from the beatdown the Jags administered to what's going to happen when they head to the Mile High City and take on the Denver Broncos, the current number one seed in the AFC playoff picture. Tony Smith, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
We've had a pretty decent history against the Denver Broncos as a Jacksonville Jaguar organization, and hoping some more of that carries over this week. What I don't want to see is that, now, depending on, we're all going to react to how well they play, but the Jags lose a 27-23 football game. Oh, it was all a mirage. You know what I mean? Like,
silly.
I sense there'll be a little of that coming, but could be a shock to the system if you're not paying attention, because Houston is breathing down their necks, and they've got the Raiders, who are, I think the word hapless was invented for that franchise and the current state, and I find it almost impossible to believe that Houston's going to lose a game this week, so they would take over first place in the division.
Yeah, and I can understand that there will be some portion of the fan base that would react that way to that kind of game. I think looking at it from, my own lens, which is the only lens I can use, right, to get ready for this game, I look at a Denver team that has just found a way over and over and over again. Whatever's happening in the game, they found a way to win, right? Like, that's why they've won 11 in a row. Bo Nix just played probably the best game of his career last week, right? It's not like Denver's coming into this game limping to an 11-game win streak. Like, that's not how it works in the National Football League. So I think this is as tight a contest as there is in the league this weekend. There's a reason that it should be talked about as the best matchup in the league this weekend. I'm not afraid of the Denver Broncos. None of that is expressed as fear of this matchup this week. It's excitement about what we can learn about really both teams this week, but especially the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they play the way they've played the last month, they're going to beat the Denver Broncos, and then the whole league's going to have to take notice. And if they lose, we'll see how that looks, right? And we'll react to it coming out of it. But I'm not going to come out of it going, oh, it was all for nothing. Like, that's not at all.
I'm not. I didn't say you would or I would. I just think there's some of that out there, and I think there's some doubters, and that's fine. You're willing and able to doubt as much as you want. I read Pete Prisco's power poll this week just because I like to see what Pete says about the Jags, because he's a little bit more in the know. I think he had him like number 5, maybe 5 or 6, something like that. He's had him very high. He's been ahead of the curve on that. But in describing the Denver Broncos and that game, really 2 plays told the story of that game. You think, oh, man, they beat the Packers, and it's just yet another notch on their belt. They're losing by 2 scores in the second half. And Green Bay had the football. And then Surtain got an interception, and on that play, he comes down and lands on Christian Watson, knocking him out of the game for the rest of the game. So the Packers' top receiving threat at this point in the season is out. And then Micah Parsons takes a bad step and blows out his ACL, and what that did to the rest of the team's psyche, basically, visible deflation the rest of the way. Look, you still have to soldier on and play, but, I mean, that's a guy that they felt was the finishing piece to what would be a run to the Super Bowl this year. Now, you know it when you're a player, or at least you sense it, the possibility if a guy's done for the year, and they certainly felt that. So, anyway, kudos to Denver for finding the way to win it. We wouldn't apologize for winning that football game. No. They shouldn't either. Going to be very interesting. We'll talk with Andrew Mason of Denver Sports 104.3 coming up here in just a few minutes. He's going to join us to preview why the Broncos have been as good as they've been this year. Dylan Denmark is here this morning. Coach Denmark, how are you?
I'm excellent.
Let's save this for a little bit later on the hour because I want to make sure we get on time today. But you tell me you have what exactly that
I have
you
a debate
came across.
that I saw sparked on the internet, and me and someone in the office was having this debate.
Okay.
And I wanted to bring this up to you.
This will fit well with the general tenor and theme of the program.
It has to do with sports, like a general sports question.
That's close enough.
Yes.
All right.
So the answer to the question is yes.
I don't want to go any further on that, but for now, we'll shelve that. Very intriguing for later on this hour. John Oehser will join us to lead off hour number 2 and stick with us throughout that hour as well. If you want to get in and talk Jaguar football, as always, 641-1010 on the phone lines or the text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on X. You can stream us on Facebook. You can stream us on YouTube out there. And you can also hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Y'all ain't that good in New York.
Man, and you can stop it. We got the championship.
Because y'all think y'all the greatest thing since sliced bread.
That's right. That's right. And tell Charles Barkley, y'all overrated. That's one more championship than he has. All right, at least it's the midseason title. All right, if the Jaguars had to let one of these 4 players go this offseason, which one could they most afford to let go? Here's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Your options: Travis Etienne, Devin Lloyd, Jacoby Meyers, Cole Van Lannon. Which one can they most afford to let go? We've been asking, who do you prioritize at the top of the list? All right, who do you most want to keep? That doesn't answer who you think is the most expendable out of that list. So let's discuss that at some point today. But you can vote on that at MD_1010XL. If the Jags had to let one of the 4 go this offseason, which one could they most afford to let go? ETN, Lloyd, Meyers, or Van Lannon? Coming back with Andrew Mason of Denver Sports 104.3. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Get in the huddle with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open at World Golf Village, providing state-of-the-art screenings and diagnostic exams with no referral required. Same-day appointments are available. Call today or visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
There's a storm brewing in Coral Gables. Find out which way the wind is blowing.
I'm JJ LaSalva. When hurricane news blows, you'll hear about it on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report
on 1010XL.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
All right, we continue along here on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith. And Tony, time to take a look at this week's opponent. You don't have to look far to find them in the AFC standings as they're at the top. The Denver Broncos right now have only lost 2 games by a very few scant points way back in the early part of the season. And here to talk about them from Denver Sports 104.3, Andrew Mason. Andrew, good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
We're doing pretty well, actually, because, much like you, we believe we're on the way to the postseason here. And I think the most remarkable thing, other than, winning 11 games is tough in the National Football League, winning them all in a row is very difficult. But by my count, the Broncos are 10-2 in one-possession games this year. What has been the secret in that? Are they just a good team that knows how to win close? Have they gotten a little fortune? Is it somewhere in the middle?
I'd say somewhere in the middle. I mean, it's sort of an interesting thing. You start with the quarterback, Bo Nix, and over the course of the season, he's been extremely effective in 2 minutes at the end of each half plus overtime. He's a top 6 quarterback in passer rating in those specific parts of the game and much lower in the rest of the game. So you get Bo Nix into those situations, he's highly effective. So when you're going tempo, and then when you're at the end of the game, when you're in a high leverage type of situation, when things are a little bit more off script, he's extremely effective. So I think there's something to that. You put the ball in his hands late in the half, late in the game, he's been extremely effective. So I think you kind of start with that. think also you have a team that has something in its DNA that it plays to the level of its opponent. I mean, and that means when they've played teams like the Jets and like the Raiders, especially the first game against the Raiders. The second game against the Raiders, 24-17. It was 24-7 late in the fourth quarter, and there were a couple of late scores, but they played the Raiders in Denver. It was 10-7. They played the Jets. It was 13-11. They played the Giants. It was a comeback 1-point game. I think this is a team that tends to has the characteristic of kind of rising or falling to the level of its foe. So whatever type of team they face, they tend to match it. So just because they've had these close games against teams that are at the middle or bottom of the standings, that's one reason why you see them lower in some power rankings and ESPN FPI, for example, than their record would indicate. But when they face a pretty good team like the Packers last week, like the Eagles in early October, they tend to match their level.
Along those kind of lines, how do you think Denver is viewing the opponent they're getting in town this week in the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Are you talking about the team or the town?
The team.
The team's going to take them seriously. I mean, I think that's going to be obvious. And let's put it this way: there was no victory Monday in Broncos headquarters for the team. Now, some of that is Sean Payton's philosophy, but some of that is knowing that they haven't accomplished any of their goals and knowing that the games get bigger and the opponents get just, or at least just as robust when they're talking about the Jaguars. I mean, you guys know what the team has looked like the last few weeks. I mean, you know how effective they are. So I think within that building, they're taking the Jaguars very seriously. They know especially how the offense has looked since Jacoby Meyers got there and how efficient and effective it is. So I don't think the Broncos are going to be caught looking past the Jaguars at all. And this is also where I think the Chiefs losing Patrick Mahomes probably helped a little bit, because if the Christmas Day game against the Chiefs were bigger, there might be some chance of looking past the Jags. Now that Mahomes is out, now that the Chiefs are out of the playoff race, I think the laser focus is going to be on this game, and there's not going to be any looking over the horizon because the Chiefs are pretty well done at this point.
Andrew Mason here with us from Denver Sports 104.3. Andrew, let's talk about the health of this team. Pat Bryant didn't play last week. We saw Brandon Jones went on IR this week. R.J. Harvey got a little bit banged up. Obviously, you're not going to have Jones back, but what about the potential for Bryant to suit up, and how beat up is R.J. Harvey?
They're hoping that the rest for Pat Bryant last week is going to have him good to go this week. So that was a reason why they sat him last week. He was working out off to the side, even though he wasn't practicing. So we'll get a better idea later on today as to just how that worked when we see whether he's out there for practice or not. R.J. Harvey, he made it through the entire game, of course. The thing with R.J. Harvey is he certainly has not been as productive as J.K. Dobbins was in that primary running back role. And then, of course, on Monday they bring in Cody Schrader off of waivers, of course, coming in. So they've got another running back in the room right now. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But also just knowing that in the last month plus, the Broncos offense has had to become a bit more Bo Nix-centric, and because R.J. Harvey has not been consistently getting like 4.5, 5 yards a carry per game in the way that J.K. Dobbins was. J.K. Dobbins was legitimately a top 5 back before he got injured, had that Liz Frank injury back in early November, top 5 back this season. And R.J. Harvey is still, a rookie, still growing, still kind of finding his way, even when he has been 100%. So we'll see. The Broncos have had to alter their success equation on offense a little bit, and they may have to continue to alter it.
What kind of impact has Evan Ingram had this season for the Broncos? He hasn't been bad when you look at the numbers, but from the outside looking in, it doesn't appear that he's had as big of an impact as maybe was expected when he landed with the Broncos in free agency. How has the season gone for him?
It's been a mixed bag. It took a while for him to get involved in the offense, I think, as they were expecting. Like the first, he had injury and he missed the Chargers game back in week 3, but he was sitting there 3 weeks into the season and he only had 4 catches. So he's kind of gradually ramped up. His biggest game was against Washington, and he had probably his biggest, most important catch of the season against Washington when he got open down the seam in overtime. And he hadn't had a breakthrough moment like that since the preseason. But really, it's been the flashes have been few and far between for Ingram. I mean, I think the thing is, though, at the same time, he's in his 9th year. I mean, this isn't the Evan Ingram of earlier in his career. He's definitely more of a short area target at this point. So it's been a season that it hasn't, on a per catch basis, it's looked a lot like what he's brought the last few years. I think people here were maybe expecting a little bit more in terms of overall production, but at the same time, it is an offense that's going to spread the ball around a lot. There's only but so many targets to go around, and he's not somebody that they're going to use in line as someone who's going to be involved in the blocking. That job is more for Adam Troutman and Nate Adkins to a lesser degree when he's injured. So as a result, there's only going to be so many snaps for Evan Ingram because they want to have the other tight ends involved for blocking. So that was naturally going to put a ceiling on just how much Evan Ingram was going to play to begin with. So, I mean, my expectations were he wasn't going to quite match what he did for down there for the Jaguars a couple of years ago. But I think maybe people were expecting a little bit more from him, but it hasn't been bad. It hasn't been bad. Just maybe I think people were hoping he'd really unlock some things in the offense that were missing last year, and it hasn't quite worked out as expected.
All right, Andrew, a couple more minutes here. When you look at the Jags, what do they do well that you think is going to pose the biggest problem for Denver this week?
Well, the thing is, when you added Jacoby Meyers in there, it's adding another effective target and allowing them to spread the ball around the field more, coupled with having an effective running game. And with Travis Etienne. And here's the thing. The offenses that have given the Broncos trouble over the last 2.5 seasons, since their defense really began to emerge as an effective unit in October of 2023 under Vance Joseph, most of the offenses that have given this defense problems have been the ones that had multiple effective targets, and that could also balance it with a strong running back, and then the ones that were also willing to test Pat Surtain. I mean, Pat's not going to let a lot by him, so explosives against him are going to be rare because there's not going to be a lot allowed after the catch against him, but teams that are willing to throw in his direction tend to have more success because then you're forcing safeties and linebackers to help in coverage all over the field rather than if you're not throwing in Surtain's direction effectively, you're just basically putting Surtain on an island and then everyone else is kind of defending just less of the field basically. So that's something I think to kind of keep an eye on. You look early in the season, for example, the Colts and the Chargers had a lot of success. They threw at Surtain. Washington with Cliff Kingsbury, Vance Joseph, old boss because they were together in Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury and Washington threw at Surtain. Cliff Kingsbury and Washington spread the ball around, and they balanced that with some runs up the middle. They had formations that spread the receiving targets out horizontally and got the linebackers spread out, and then they countered that by having draws and such up the middle. So Kingsbury kind of offered a template there a couple of weeks ago coming out of the bye that the Packers had the personnel to emulate to a degree, and they were effective on Sunday. And I think certainly Liam Cohen has the personnel to emulate. So already watching the Jaguars a little bit as I get into this game, they have the weapons and they have the diversity of weapons to cause the Broncos some problems if they game plan this properly. So this is a keen threat to the Broncos, and I think they're right there with the Packers. This is going to be just as tough a game for the Broncos as Green Bay was this past Sunday.
How do you see it playing out on Sunday when they do get on the field?
Well, I think I think kind of what I mentioned there. I think they have the personnel to counter the Broncos on defense. Losing Brandon Jones is going to hurt, although TJ Locke started for this team at safety for a season and a half in recent years. So that's an insurance policy that they're now able to cash in on. So I think they'll be okay there. What this defense does is it's been the best red zone D in the NFL this season. And last week, we saw it. Green Bay marched up and down the field consistently throughout the game, but the Broncos got a couple of red zone stops. And you look at the game, Packers had 6 scoring drives, 4 field goals, 2 touchdowns. Broncos had 5 scoring drives, all touchdowns. So basically, the Broncos won that game with 2 red zone stops and then 2 other stops that weren't red zone stops, but they were stops of the Packers when they got into scoring range. So I think a key for this game is going to be what the Broncos D does in the red zone and in scoring range again, because I think this game may take on a very similar quality where you see Jacksonville piling up yards, but can the Broncos get the red zone stops, and then like last week, can they get a couple of takeaways? Because that was the difference. A lot of last week, it was pretty equal between the teams, but Denver getting a couple of red zone stops, getting a couple of interceptions, that was the difference in this game. This isn't a defense that's going to that will completely lock you down, but it is a D that is a playmaking defense, and it will come up with stops in those high leverage scenarios. And if it does so again, that will allow the Broncos to run their winning streak to a dozen games. But that's going to be where the game is decided, I think. Can this Broncos D get a red zone stop or 2? Can it force a turnover or 2? And then can the Jags force a takeaway or 2 from Bo Nix in the offense? And can they rattle Bo Nix into mistakes, which has been pretty tough to do because he's been very well protected, because he gets the ball out fast, because this Broncos offensive line has been as good as you'll find in the NFL this year.
All right, Andrew Mason's got a front row seat there for Denver Sports 104.3. You can find him at denversports.com or on the X platform at Mace Denver. M-A-S-E Denver is where you'll find Andrew Mason on the Broncos beat for a long, long time. Andrew, thank you. Can't wish you luck, but enjoy the game this weekend, and happy holidays to you and yours.
Happy holidays. Y'all take care.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll roll into Denver and take care of business. A lot of things said there. One thing that was left unsaid I found kind of interesting. We'll discuss that when we come back in a moment. Plus, Denmark's trip to the internet and what that might entail. Johnny O in hour number 2. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
It's December. You need cash. You also need a new Kia Fast. At Kia on Atlantic, you can get both because it's our year-end cash bash. And during the Kia Season of New Tradition sales event, make no payments for up to 6 months or take advantage of 0% APR. Hurry and get to the year-end cash bash. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Morgan Conley Roofing isn't just repairing roofs. He's building a legacy for generations to come. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
Frank Frangie for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember when the Jaguars upset the Denver Broncos in the 1996 divisional round as a 14-point underdog and launched them into the AFC Championship? Well, you know who won't upset you? The team at Coil Fencing. Coil is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project, Coil does it all. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's CoilJacks.com. Coil Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more. Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Tony, during that interview with Andrew Mason of Denver Sports 104.3, he was asked basically, how the Jaguar team is being seen and how much emphasis is being put on this game for the Jaguars to be a strong opponent. I forget the exact wording, right? Mm-hmm. And he responded with, you mean by the team or the fans?
Yeah.
And you could tell, look, Andrew Mason's a guy who's going to take his time to make his point. We didn't want to deviate too far off the path and follow down the rabbit hole of what do the fans think about this team. But it was pretty clear, by the way, he said, well, the team is taking them seriously.
No.
Which means that the fan base is not. Which, by the way, fan bases are entitled to do whatever they want, right? But it just is more of the theme. Why don't we make this today's 10-10 take?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Brightened up by First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
Yeah, I think this just goes back to what Liam Cohen said a couple weeks ago. The respect's not coming, right? And that's fine. In the end, you get your ring, they can't take the ring away from you, right? And they can respect the ring, and they'll try to denigrate that too. Because we've all heard, that's one of the worst Super Bowl teams. Or that was a fluke. They won it with this guy. You know how it is, right? Yeah. Like, we compare the best of the best as if winning the Super Bowl doesn't mean you're the best of that year. It does mean. That's it. You're the champ of that year. Does that mean you're the all-time greatest team in NFL history? That's not the standard. We're just trying to get to a Super Bowl right now. And then let's win it when we get there. But to kind of dovetail with that, PFT did a little piece today talking about how much of a marquee game Denver and Jacksonville is, but how the NFL is not treating it like that at all. They didn't flex that into Sunday night, and you could have seen this kind of coming, that this was potentially a really big game, especially with the way the schedule was setting up for Jacksonville to come into this one on a bit of a roll. And they don't even play it in the 4:25 slot, which, frankly, for me, 1 o'clock would be perfect. And I understand it's Rocky Mountain time zone and all that. But it's a regional broadcast on Fox at 4:05. So if you're in Colorado or you're in the Jaguars footprint, you're going to see the game. Otherwise, you're not. And that's, maybe it benefits the Jags that they just kind of are this team that everyone wants to mentally dismiss. And, I hope that seeps into some of the organization, the players. And I understand coaching staffs try to get you to buy in. I just go back to, when was it? 5-6 weeks ago when Buffalo lost to Miami. And Josh Allen said afterwards, we clearly didn't take that, and I'm paraphrasing, but we clearly didn't take them seriously enough. We didn't respect the threat.
Yeah.
That was his message. So it can happen at that level that the players just like, we got this team. We have success against this team. I'm not worried about that team. I hope that that's the case down the stretch. I mean, you would think at this point in the season, you've won 10 games, and the teams that they've beaten, people would sit up and take notice. But if they choose not to, let it be at their own detriment.
Yeah, I think I'm not all that convinced that anybody within the league will look at the Jags that way. Like, I can see people around the league, fans, media, right? Like, them still not seeing exactly what the Jaguars might be. I can see that a little bit, but I don't think within the league that the Jaguars are sneaking up on anybody at this point. I think once you put on the tape, you're like, oh. Right?
I would think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of that. I certainly don't expect Denver to approach it that way, right? Like, I'm not surprised that in this city that gave us the Jaguars thing from Woody, that city would still look at the Jaguars coming to town and feel that way.
There's probably still some of that resentment lingering among the fan base that's been around for a while.
Yeah, within Denver, I'm not surprised that would be the city if they felt that way about this kind of thing. I'm not surprised that fans in other NFL cities feel that way when the Jaguars are coming to town. I would be very surprised the next time a team kind of reacts to it that way, given what the Jaguars are doing within this season. They put on the tape. They had to see it. It's not like you're looking at either side of the ball with the Jaguars right now and being like, oh, they're not actually all that good at all. Like, both sides of the ball, you look at it right now and go, uh-oh. Right? Like, that's the way that it looks when you look at the tape of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. I think Denver in the locker room, that's the way they're going to be approaching this game. And in the city, they're going to think the Jaguars are coming to town. We'll send them back home with a loss.
Well, and they've won 11 in a row. They just think, hey, we're just the team that finds a way to beat you no matter what. Although you can also, I mean, obviously you can look at it. You look at the way the Minnesota Vikings did it last year. They won almost all those one-score games, right? And were fantastic. And then it kind of fell apart. Now, granted, quarterback change, it's a different circumstance, but you know, it's great if you can consistently do it. It also means you're letting your opponent in position in the fourth quarter to have a chance to beat you every single week.
Sure. And I think from a, the fan perspective here for a moment, for me, looking at this game, I wouldn't want Denver fans to handle it any other way. Right? Like, I want Denver fans right now to feel the way that they do about their team. We've won 11 in a row. We're going to make it 12. Right? Like, I like the idea that they have the confidence of, we're going to make it 12. Right? Whatever it's going to look like, however ugly it might get, we're confident our guys are going to find a way. I wouldn't want them to feel any other way. If you were the team that was the 11 in a row with a team coming into town, you would feel the exact same way. You would say it the exact same way. Not that there wouldn't be any, maybe they can get us this week kind of thing, like that level of at least respect for the opponent, which I hope they have. I don't know. I don't hear Denver, right, when we're going through these kind of things. But if you were the team that had won 11 in a row and had found a way to do it the way the Broncos had, you'd be going into this week saying they'll find a way, right? Doesn't matter how good the opponent is this week. They'll find a way. And Jacksonville, you ought to be going in with the confidence you have because you see the way the team's playing right now. We're coming into town. We're going to score 30. Can you score 35? Right? It's kind of the mindset that you have in your head, and you should with the way that they're playing.
All right, the question of the day, if the Jags had to let one of these four players walk this offseason, which one could they most afford to let go? In other words, who's the most dispensable? Travis Etienne, Devin Lloyd, Jacoby Meyers, Cole Van Lannon. Got over 200 votes on that. You can cast your ballot if you haven't at MD_1010XL on the X platform. We'll come back. And big news from the NFL, quarterback benching. In South Florida, as Tua Tagovailoa is going to give way to Quinn Ewers. We'll discuss that and more. Dylan Denmark's got a trip through the dark recesses of the internet he wants to bring to us. Maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, it's not that dark.
Okay, good.
It's out there.
I don't know with you. So we'll get into that coming up. And then John Oehser joins us for hour number 2, 641-1010. If you want to get in, weigh in on Jaguar football, you're welcome to do that here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Saddle up your horses.
The Jaguars ride to the Rockies, ready to rope the Broncos at Mile High. Can the Jags break the Bronx? Saddle up and find out. It's Duval attitude versus Denver altitude.
This is the great adventure.
Jaguars Broncos Sunday at 1
Saddle up your
on the home of the Jaguars.
Come on, get ready to ride.
1010XL.
If you like winning, this is former Jaguar linebacker Tom McManus, and I'm excited to introduce you to J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling of Greater Jacksonville. If you're a property manager, contractor, builder, realtor, or homeowner, get that feeling of success with less stress. I've used them. My friends have used them. So get your free junk removal and hauling estimate today. Now, I call that a win. Veteran-owned and operated J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256. We haul it all.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
December 17th, 1991, the Cleveland Cavaliers throttled the Miami Heat 148-80. The 68-point margin was the most lopsided game in NBA history.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
The number 19 Virginia Cavaliers meet the Missouri Tigers in Jacksonville at the 81st TaxSlayer Gator Bowl game, Saturday, December 27th in prime time. Start your game day with the TaxSlayer Tailgate Party, followed by the official pregame show featuring the Navy Band Southeast. Kickoff at 7:30 on Bill Gay grounds at Everbank Stadium. Don't miss college football pageantry on display at the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Game tickets and hospitality packages on sale at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Every year we have gentlemen come in with the same problem. They just don't know what to buy their wife for Christmas. Well, one thing we can start off telling them is they've come to the right place because at Underwoods it's been our business since 1928 to keep in our stores what ladies want to own. We have a professional credentialed staff that'll treat you the way you expect to be treated, and they can really help solve your problem. We have North Florida's finest collection of diamond jewelry, an extensive collection of pearls. You might be interested in seeing some of the hot new designer jewelry pieces from names like David Yurman, John Hardy, or Roberto Coin. If it's a watch you want, we carry Rolex and other watches that are considered the best. And the one thing you'll love and she'll recognize is the hand-wrapped silver package with a satin ribbon our gifts come in. So make this a Christmas to remember at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, more Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Tua getting benched in Miami for Quinn Ewers, that and more as Tony Smith takes us around the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Miami head coach Mike McDaniel changed the way he answered questions about quarterback Tua Tagovailoa on Tuesday after saying Monday following the Dolphins' loss in Pittsburgh that he didn't want to make any rash or short-sighted decision regarding his quarterback. Yesterday, McDaniel, when asked about Tua, said again that Tua's play the night before was not good enough and that everything was now on the table there in Miami. In the last half hour, it's been announced that the Dolphins are going to start Quinn Ewers at quarterback this week, putting Tua on the bench at least for this weekend's game. Los Angeles Rams head coach Sean McVay said the wide receiver Devontae Adams, who aggravated a hamstring injury that he's been playing through the last several weeks on Sunday, would not practice for the Rams yesterday, but they had not ruled him out yet for their matchup Thursday against Seattle. Arizona has placed running back Bam Knight on injured reserve, in New England has signed linebacker Chad Muma off the Indianapolis practice squad.
All right, Tua, and look, I get it. We live in a different era now, but Dolphin fans did not react very positively as they saw him yucking it up with Jalen Ramsey after Monday Night Football on the field. I mean, they were just like standing out there. It wasn't some jersey exchange. They were just making jokes and cracking wise. And I get it, the game's over. We competed for 3 hours. That's fine. Fans don't see it that way. Most of them don't anyway, I don't believe. And you just got eliminated from the playoffs.
Right.
And you're acting like who cares? Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect me one way or the other. Win, lose, don't care one way or the other. It is interesting when you compare Tua to Trevor Lawrence the tale of the two quarterbacks and what have you done for me lately and trajectory and how much that plays in. Tua Tagovailoa, Tony, is 44-32 as a starter. He's 12 games over 500. Trevor Lawrence is 10 under 500. He's 32-42. Very similar amount of starts, and Tua has had more success. Tua previously has led the league in passing yardage a couple of years ago with 4,600. Last year, he completed nearly 73% of his passes, had the number one total in the National Football League. His yards per attempt this year, you think Tua doesn't drive it down the field, right? Yards per attempt, 6.9. Trevor Lawrence, 7.0. Right? I mean, Trevor has more yards, but he's also thrown it a bunch more than Tua has this year. But Trevor now is starting to click. You know, his season is going in an upward trajectory. The Jags' path is in an upward trajectory, and they seem to be two ships passing, going in opposite directions right now. And the amount of dead money that Miami's got to take on if they move on from Tua is considerable. He's got $54 million in guarantees for next year. If they cut him, they'd have $99 million of their cap would be dead money. Just can't use it because it's allocated to Tua. If they cut him as a post-June 1st cut, $67 million next year, $31.8 the year after. Why not just keep him and sit him on your bench? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to go with Quinn Ewers and Zach Wilson, or do you want to go in? You're 6-8. You're not going to have a top pick. It's not a great year for quarterbacks. You're not going to find your future franchise guy
Kirk Cousins
likely.
thing all over again in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not in
don't
position
have
to
the
get Michael Penix.
Yeah.
You know, with 6 wins at this point in time, and if you add another one or two down the stretch, man, just a couple of years ago. I mean, a couple of years ago, Tua leading the league in passing, Tone. Miami went 11-6, and everybody was loving life. He had 29 touchdowns. He had 14 picks, which was a little high. Now, look, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be benched right now. He has 15 interceptions. He didn't have any this week, but he threw for less than 200 yards, and he's not driving the ball down the field to anybody. He's got bad pocket awareness at times. Everyone does at times. It seems like it's a little bit more prevalent in the times I've been able to watch Miami play this year.
Every time Miami's on, I'm just watching going, what's Tua doing?
He
would drive me nuts.
Right, he's completing 67.7% of his passes. Yeah. And, you know, you say, well, it's dink and dunk, but, again, his yards per attempt is basically identical to Trevor's. You know, so it's interesting. It's just that I guess he's completing all the short stuff and none of the long stuff.
Yeah, like Achane and those guys are making plays.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You dump it off to Achane and he goes for however much. And Trevor right now is in a period over the last few weeks where he's really throwing it downfield with a great deal of accuracy. All right, Denmark. Before we get Ozier in here, do you want to explain to us what little internet hole you fell into yesterday?
All right. So yesterday there was a debate between two people. Dave Portnoy and someone else was reacting with this.
That's going to be great.
Yes. So if you know, you know. You probably.
I don't know, but Dave Portnoy. I'm sure this will be very
Portnoy's a big Boston fan, and Boston's won multiple championships, and he kept saying the term "we." As a fan, we won a championship.
Okay.
I wanted to know. If the Jags win the Super Bowl, are you the person that says we won a championship, or do you say they won a championship, but I'm part of it? How do you?
I don't mind the we. I really don't. I don't mind the we if you're not being obnoxious about it because you do invest in that team. You do, like Tua. Tua's like, I got my millions. Either way, right? Is Tua more invested emotionally in that team than diehard Miami fans? Now, he works harder because he has to go through it every single day. But in terms of emotional investment, I mean, I think fans have the right to say it if they want to. It's not like I won the Super Bowl, but we collectively, the people that pull for this organization, I feel like you're part of the organization to some degree. You're kind of the lifeblood of it. You don't have to be on the payroll to be included. So I don't, some people are obnoxious about it, but if you're not, I don't have an issue with it.
I have no issue with the we.
I actually debated David Lamb on the air about this once, and Lamb said it was the only time anyone had ever changed his mind about it.
Really?
Yes, I'm dead serious. He hated the we, and then I went and I explained all the reasons why I didn't think it was wrong to do, and he's like, you might have
I
actually.
can see what you're saying now.
Yeah, and which was shocking for me or Lamb to admit when we were perhaps misguided at any given point in time. All right, so what? I think you were expecting a different reaction.
Yeah, well, I remember like not too long ago, someone on there was talking about we, and you were like, you couldn't stand
like
it.
I said, sometimes it hits you, and you're like, "We, shut up! What did
like,
you
we
do?"
didn't shoot good, and
Right. You know where it bothers
away.
me more? It's more other teams' fans like, "We beat you." No, you didn't. You didn't do anything.
Right.
But I think when you're celebrating your team, again, not obnoxiously, nobody thinks you actually did anything to accomplish that other than.
Especially if you're at the game and you're like, a football game and you are part of the game and
You're
like
part of the experience. You cheered them on.
Right. You're cheering them on and you are part of the reason why the offense is having false starts.
And not everybody can go to game. Look, I think if you truly give your heart to a team and you're not just bandwagon riding, right? Like, hey, when I'm good, it's we, and when they're bad, you suck. That's obnoxious. But anyway, so I don't hate it. I'll be a hypocrite
when you
in any
apply
given
the we
moment.
when they're not any good too, like it's
right. We stink.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have the right to buy into that a little bit. So, but that doesn't mean tomorrow somebody won't use it and it won't offend me because I am a noted hypocrite.
I'm more of a they. Like Reigns,
That's
like
fine.
they won the title. They brought it back home.
Well, why would you be part of a we with Reigns just because you live in the city?
Yeah.
You coach
Like-
a different team.
No, but that don't matter, man. Like when
It
your team,
does
like
matter.
everybody in the city. I'm just saying, like Reigns in general. Like everybody in the city was rooting for them to beat Miami Northwestern or. Like if the Gators, when they won the basketball title, like, yeah, they did it. I'm more
right.
of a
Now,
they.
if I was talking to somebody in South Florida, I might say we because I would want to stick it to them.
Okay.
Right? And I am obnoxious in that way very clearly. So anyway, it comes and goes. But as of today, I will accept we. If you are an honest broker and you go through the bad times as well. Just can't bandwagon and front run when they're doing well. All right, Johnny O. Next hour, question of the day, which one of these four could the Jags most afford to let go if they all make it to free agency after this year? Is it ETN? Is it Lloyd? Is it Meyers? Or is it Van Lanen? We'll discuss that coming up in hour number 2 on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Start your day off right with Dandy. Anytime you have Dandy, your day is going to be going in a better direction because Dandy makes all their sandwiches and subs and all the food that they put out with the highest quality ingredients, locally sourced as often as possible. They want to deliver it fresh, and they want to deliver it daily all over the First Coast, keeping the prices in check while giving you great variety as well. Part of that variety is a full menu of breakfast items. I'm partial to the French toast. You might be as well, but try the twin pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage if you want something new. You get the sweet, you get the salty, and you get all the deliciousness. You get it weighing in at 7 ounces in a hearty portion, and you find them at your local daily store. So pop in, head to the Fresh Case, and look for that Dandy label. They're a local family, the Thompsons, and a local company for the last 7 decades, serving up nothing but delicious food and easy and convenient here on the First Coast. When you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Get the weekend feeling all day Friday. Best feeling in the world, isn't it? That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday. You're going to love this. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday.
On Jaguars Today.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, where there's chances galore to put a little extra winnings under the tree this holiday season. Santa's checked his list twice, and you're on the Hard Rock Bet Nice list. Sign up now. Bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you'll win $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings stuffed in your stocking. Now that's holiday magic. It's all on the Hard Rock Bet app. Download it now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
He's not Pistol Pete. He's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Franchi Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I-9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tocoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Zero Res. Number 23, Florida basketball in St. Francis meet in the Gators' first home game since November 21st, which will start a string of 3 straight O-Dome dates against low major opponents through the holidays. UF, which fell 5 spots in this week's Associated Press poll, is coming off Saturday's 80-70 defeat of George Washington in Saturday's Orange Bowl Classic in Sunrise, Florida. Right now, 61 degrees at 11:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farrah doesn't flinch. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Johnny O. Good morning, young man. How are you?
In the house.
Yes, you are in the house. How are you? How are things?
10-4, ready to go.
How are things with a 10-4 team this week?
It's what it should be. The team. I'm assuming the team's gonna be ready. They're usually ready. There's excitement around the building. Fans, I think, are feeling the high wire act nature of this game, meaning
big stakes.
You go win, you're in great shape. You lose, you're still in very good shape for the postseason, but your division stuff looks a lot different. So this is what December's about.
Yeah, you win this game, you're holding the hammer for the AFC South, and you can tap on a couple of nails to close out the season. I'm not saying that the Colts and Titans won't give you everything they have, and who knows, maybe Phillip Rivers a couple weeks in will be able to give a reasonable performance. But, I'm with you. It's a high wire act is not a bad way to describe it this week, John.
But it's cool, right? I mean,
it's fantastic. Are you kidding?
Yeah, this is the higher act you want. I've got letters. This is awful. I'm so nervous. Well,
we're
that's
going
what it
from
is.
right now. These are good nerves. I mean, as opposed to, man, if we win this week and 3 other teams lose, we move up to the 8th spot in the playoff pecking order, and we only need a couple of other teams to lose next week to keep us viable. No, this is all you. Go out there and probably you win one more game, you're good to go for the postseason. But you got bigger goals now that you want to win this division, at least get yourself 1 home game at a minimum, possibly 2.
They feel like they're peaking. You want to keep peaking, all that stuff.
And I think, Tony, too, they didn't look past the Jets, right? So this is a team that's shown they will focus on the task at hand in the short term. And I think they'll, it would have been very easy to look ahead and say Denver is much more important. And it is a much more important game. You could, out of all the games you could have lost, that's the one you could have lost. The Jets won the other 3, and you still would have won the division as a tiebreaker. The way it matches up with common opponents and stuff like that. But this one is massive.
I guarantee you, if you look at the last month for Houston, right, since they had to come back in the second half there against Jacksonville and they keep winning, right, and they're beating Kansas City, like winning the games that they're winning on this road, they've been looking at the whole time going, we'll get there. Jacksonville ain't going to beat Denver. Right, like I guarantee you that's the conversation they're having in that town is, we'll get there. They're not going to beat Denver.
Sure.
Right? So
go beat Denver.
Take care of your business.
Pop them on the head, man. Like this is the week where you can do that kind of thing.
Do
the
that
opportunity's right there.
Right. Nothing that they do then will matter at that point. Dylan asked us a question about the debate on fans using the term "we" when it comes to a team's
Dylan
success.
asked the question. We'll give the answer.
Okay. So what is your answer? Are you on board with fans saying we won that game as opposed to we lost or whatever?
We're not going to say we lost it.
Well, that's the question, right?
That's
like
what fans
that's
do.
my position is if you say we lost, then you could say we win. You can't be like they lost, but we won.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, look, fans identify with it. Fans give their heart and soul to this. They love it. I don't think there's any harm in it.
Oh, I don't either. As long as you're consistent. That's for me at least.
Fans aren't gonna be
got a lot of reactions on the text
How
line.
does Dylan feel about it?
Dylan thought we would go the other way on that. He thought we'd be opposed to it.
I thought Mike would be opposed.
And
to
at any
it.
given time, I might be. If it, well, like sometimes you hear it and it just sits wrong with you. Like, especially if people are trying to, like, if you say we won, yay, I'm happy we won, but we beat you, we did this. No, you didn't do anything. There's a line of obnoxiousness that you can cross
when you talk about
that
it
you
as
can't
if you're
define.
actually on the team, right? Like when you hear it, it hits your ears that way. It's like, what are you saying?
Right. I get because fans do invest and they are part of it and all that.
I'm cool with the fans celebrating as a we when they win. It's like you didn't make the tackle, bud. Like, like it's okay.
Right. Up to a line. Now, it's interesting. We got a lot of reaction to this on the text line. This one says, only season ticket holders get to say we.
Oh,
well, excuse me, gatekeeper. Right? I mean, like, not everybody can afford to be a season ticket holder.
To go to every game?
Right. What if you did that? Or what if you can only afford to go to a couple games a year and you root fervently from your couch? Or what if you don't? What if you just choose to root fervently from your couch? I'm sorry. You don't. I don't.
No, I know
agree
people
with that.
Who love it to their core aren't season ticket holders, but I mean, yes, they can say we.
Another one, we make noise and pay the bills. And the ones who go to the games, absolutely. I say we, season ticket member for years, and help pay the salaries. A lot of people say, hey, look, my taxes are going to build that stadium. Damn right I'm saying we, right? Seriously. Yeah. I mean, that's the way people think. And
it's fair.
Again, if you legitimately give your heart and you're not a bandwagon front runner, that if you're not going to ignore the down times, right? Like, I don't care about that. And you just celebrate the good stuff, and then you're kind of a bandwagon person. But if you're that, look, I know a lot of Jag fans that don't go to games, that ride the emotional roller coaster, and they're invested, and they're fans, and it's a we, and you're part of the whole thing, Otherwise, what's the point of playing these games?
That's
Money.
I mean, it's fine. If people want to be that passionate about it, who are we to say they can't do it?
All right, let's get a couple calls in here with John Ogier as we get rolling here in the second hour of Jaguars today. Darren on the south side going to join us to roll it up here. Darren, go ahead.
Hey guys, we are going to Denver.
All right, well, I knew you would probably be doing that. So what's the itinerary?
It's going to be a little bit of a suicide mission. It'll be out on Saturday and back on Monday. So, but it'll just be a lot of fun, a whole lot of fun, no matter what. I'm looking forward to it. These guys are playing good. My question for John is wondering with Patrick Surtain, do you see and I know we don't know what Denver's going to do, but do you see Surtain like covering Meyers or covering BTJ? And I mean, what do you think they try and scheme up on defense as far as, because it, like the guy said from Denver, we've got so many weapons. What do you think they do with Surtain? I'll hang up and listen, guys. Enjoy the show.
All right, thanks, Darren.
I would guess they'll do it a little bit situationally. I mean, if you watch the Jags, there's really not. It's kind of pick your poison. If you take away Jacoby, you're leaving yourself open for Brian Thomas Jr. big plays. But Jacoby's really important to this offense. So I would guess he won't travel 100%. I would think situationally they would try to have him take away the player that they feel is the most dangerous in that situation if they can get their defense there. I mean, sometimes you can't. I mean, Liam will be trying to scheme so that that's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I see conflicting reports on this. I see that, because I've looked this up this week, how often does Patrick Surtain follow receivers, number one receivers? And some results will tell you he follows them all over the place. Others tell you he rarely covers anyone out of the slot. And you can deploy Jacoby Meyers out of the slot. Right. So it depends on what your goal is on the play. I think the Jets paid more attention to Jacoby Meyers in the second half because he was killing him in the first half. And the Jags just adjusted by maybe throwing the ball a little bit more to Brian Thomas, but really getting the backs involved in the passing game or continuing to get them involved in the passing game. And right now the Jags, I think, John, are dangerous because this is the first time they've had basically all their primary weapons in the passing game available at the same time.
Yeah, and it's funny, as good as Jacoby is, and he matters very much, when that scenario was presented just now, I thought, well, okay, take away Jacoby, and I mean, Parker's been reliable, and if you focus so much on Jacoby, Brenton Strange can catch 4 or 5 balls for 80 yards and really hurt you. BTJ can go over the top. So I'm not saying this is the best receiving core in the league, but for what they want to do with these guys, having one guy taken away is not. I mean, it's not the crippler last year if you took BTJ away. You were talking about nothing. So,
right.
I think if Denver over-focuses on that, I don't think the Jaguars mind that much if you're completely focused on one guy.
I would guess, though, their opinion would be like, we're not over-focusing. We're saying one guy can take out your top guy. That's not an over-focus. That's just like that's just our tactic. That's what we're going to go in and do. And then we've, if you can do that, because a lot of guys, number one, requires a safety over the top. And if they feel that I don't think that's an over-focus from their standpoint. I think they're saying that's a luxury from their standpoint, to have. So, all right. Thank you, Darren.
My confidence in Liam Cohen is so high right now that even if Denver were to be able to take away whatever that weapon is, the one that they want to take away, I don't know how much it'll affect what the Jaguars want to do. I think that he can see it's happening and say, all right, then we go to this. Right, and I think he's an effective enough offensive mind. We talked about it, earlier this week on the show. Watching what he did with Tampa last year, this was that. This was, all right, X gets hurt, we go to Y. X is getting taken away, we go to Y. Like, he was always willing to find and was able to find the next answer. We're seeing that within the Jaguars offense right now. I think they're a really difficult team to get ready for because I don't think you can go into a game and say, we're going to take away their run and then they're sunk. Right? I don't think they're that kind of team. I don't think they're a team that says we can take away Jacoby Meyers and they're sunk. I don't think they're that right now. They're a really difficult team to get ready for because they are able to do whatever the option is to be done. Given what you're giving them on defense, I think they're capable of taking advantage of it.
Look at last week. I doubt the Jets schemed very much to take away Travis Etienne in the passing game. And
it certainly didn't look like it.
Right. So, point is, it seemed like the Jets were focused on stopping the run. Okay, we're going to, and then the Jags, as they have for 7 weeks, had an answer.
All right, we'll go to break here because we've got to, but somebody on the text line made a good point. It's Duval till we die, not Duval till they die. So there you go.
Darn right.
There you go. The we is right there in the slogan. All right, we'll come back with more of your calls at 641-1010 if you want to get in on Jaguars today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL, Get straight talk from D-Rock.
So let me get this straight.
Mike Duraco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass. Guaranteed greatness since 1926 on 1010XL.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Awaken 180 weight loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
When it comes to my opinion, I love dropping the hammer. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I know it's football season, but I know you love basketball too. And youth sports are always in season at the First Coast YMCA. Registration is now open for winter basketball at the Y. Today, more than ever, our kids need to experience the joy of being a kid while also learning the importance of teamwork, respect, and healthy living. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, fun environment with an exciting youth basketball league. Learn more at fcymca.org.
Learn the secrets to bring your A game on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Yeah, well, you really crushed that ball off the tee, I'll tell you what.
Learn the latest on new equipment from all the major manufacturers on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Hosting the family holiday dinner can be a beautiful experience until your kitchen sink backs up before you've even served dinner.
Who tried to wash cookie dough down the drain?
We were making cookies for Santa and the reindeer. The reindeer like chocolate chip, too.
Great. Now we need a plumber and a new garbage disposal.
Superior Plumbing and Pipelining is no stranger to holiday plumbing problems. Don't let plumbing problems disrupt your holiday dinner. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered this holiday season. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
If you need a holiday gift idea, let Kuhn Flowers handle it for you. Hi, Flying Jacko here. Simply go online to KuhnFlowers.com and look at the wide variety of floral and plant arrangements. That'll make someone's day this holiday season.
Checkmate.
I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, adorable mascot for Checkmate Coatings.
If you're thinking of refinishing your garage floor, there's 2 things you need to know about us. My family has been in the concrete coatings industry for more than 40 years.
And I was drawn 6 months ago by an artist in New Jersey.
Why is that even relevant?
Well, you said 40 years experience, so I had to give them something.
Over the years, we've worked closely with major manufacturers to develop a multi-layer application process that creates beautiful, durable, and long-lasting floors.
So even decades from now, your garage floor will look as gorgeous as it did the day it was installed.
Experience?
Check. Durable?
Check. Decades of experience making garage floors gorgeous? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Hey, yeah, I want to shoot, baby, shoot.
Oh noes.
Served up by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
All right, Andrew on Twitter or X says, wish we all could go to every game, but in a city as diverse as Jacksonville with the Navy and the Snowbirds bringing in other fans to town, I'll back anyone who bleeds teal, as he added, it's Duval till we die. Yes, I think that will be the final word on that. Maybe not on the text line, but the ones that I will read, at least on the issue. Feel how you want to feel
I think we've
about
come
it.
to a conclusion.
Well, or not. You know, we've come to our conclusion. You can decide for yourselves how you feel about that. It's not that big of a deal. Let's go out to Byron in Gainesville. Always one to lift the spirits. Byron, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys, and thank you so much, guys, for taking my call. And I would like, especially to Johnny and you guys, to say, hey, guys, happy holidays. And I've been listening. I don't call as much, especially when we're winning and everybody's calling. I just sit back and just savor it and enjoy the holidays call. But real quick, guys, instead of my real Duval, in light of this guy who I'm biasly wanting to be coach of the year, I'm going to say Duval.
All right.
That's what I could do. Coach Liam Cohen. And this is my last biased cheap plug. Hall of Fame. Come on, Fred, get that thing.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I would love that. I'd rather Fred in the Hall of Fame than Liam Cohen, Coach of the Year. It's got a more long-lasting impact. Yeah. Can you who was the Coach of the Year 6 years ago? Yeah. I had no idea. Right. You know, who was good?
And if you look at the number of coaches of the year who are gone in a year, I would say I thought they were a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were for
Brian
that year.
Dable won it the year that Doug Peterson could have.
Right.
And those two guys obviously unemployed as far as head coaches in the National Football League. So, Liam Cohen should at least be in the conversation. I don't think he has to be considered the favorite. I mean, I think there are other good candidates. I just want to hear him included with them because he's clearly one of the top candidates. Has orchestrated a phenomenal turnaround, much like Vrabel has as well.
Yeah, the way they do that award, it'll probably be Vrabel because it's always the guy with the best record. I mean, but Cohen to not be included in it. Well, I'll put it this way: I wouldn't take any coach over him. So, for him not to be included in the conversation is kind of silly. But it doesn't matter that much.
I mean, I don't have an issue if Vrabel wins the award. The Patriots are actually worse than the Jaguars last year, and they're currently better than them record-wise this year. I don't know what else you can go on. We'll find out. Let's find out how good they are in the postseason. Then everyone goes, "See, they gave it to the wrong guy." Well, it's a regular season award, so. It's not that big a deal, but I don't think Byron's going to lose any sleep over it either. But I will give you a hearty Duval back, Byron, because, that's the way we do it these days, including Liam Cohen. But always appreciate you, man. Happy holidays to you as well. John, our question of the day.
Oh, it's not we? It's not
out there. I don't know how I would have asked
I thought
that.
the we thing was the question of the day.
No, it was not the question of the day. Dylan just brought that up, kind of unprompted in the middle of things.
He took over the show, Dylan.
He steered it in a direction. It's fine.
I do that from time to time.
We're back in the fast lane now.
Right.
If the Jags had to let one of these four players go this offseason, which one could they most afford to let go? We've looked at it from the other side a lot, and most people say, well, Jacoby Meyers would be the one if I can only bring back one.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not surprised that he is getting the lowest vote total here at 3%. But we've got other strong candidates. ETN, Devin Lloyd, Cole Van Lannon. I think the Jags would have interest in bringing all of them back.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you have the money or the wherewithal, and other teams are making bids on their service as well. And none of these guys owes the Jags any kind of hometown discount or anything like that.
No such thing.
It's business, and that's fine. So, what's your priority list here? Is Jacoby Meyers the top of your personal list?
Jacoby 1, Van Lannon 2.
I think that's
ETN
the Jags.
3.
Yeah, you think ETN over Lloyd?
Absolutely.
How come? I mean, you say absolutely. Why so definitive?
Well, I think ETN's been critical to the offense. I think Lloyd's been playing very well, has a lot of interceptions. I don't think he's as crucial to the defensive performance as ETN is to the offensive performance.
Okay. Boy, I think you could argue that. You know, did Lloyd miss the Seattle and the Rams game, I want to say?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Right? And like, I feel like, you know, winning percentage-wise, the Jags are much better with Lloyd in there. You could say the same for Brenton Strange. He's obviously not part of this question because he's under contract for next year. It's tough, Tony, because Travis Etienne is having a phenomenal year. He's got 12 touchdowns, which matches his career high. And we saw how impactful he was this week as an example of that. But it does, you know, the trope is that running back is one of those positions that you can just replace. You know, at the same time, Devin Lloyd's got 6 turnovers, 5 interceptions for a team that had 9 total last year.
He's been impressive.
And that's become a little bit of that defensive identity for this team, is that they'll get 2 or 3 off of you in a given point. Has Travis Etienne, in your opinion, outplayed the value of the position to the point where you would prioritize him more than any of these guys coming back?
I wouldn't prioritize them more. I think the 2 that you had at the top of the list would still be the guys at the top of the list for me, right? Like, the question is, in my mind, I'm debating whether my answer would be ETN or Lloyd, right? And what to do with that. And taking a look, Lloyd did play in that Seattle game. That's when he got hurt, was in the Seattle game. Was that week. He missed the Rams game, obviously, after that. And
I'm not saying they lost solely because Devin Lloyd wasn't there. I'm just saying,
but he didn't play, and
part of the equation.
Those have been when they've looked the worst. Is obviously, you know, the Seattle and then the Rams game. That's when the defense has been at its worst so far this season. So Devin Lloyd not being out there, how much is he directly responsible for that? I don't know. You know, hopefully we can find out in the Super Bowl, and Devin Lloyd plays in it, right? If the Rams can rematch against that one a little bit later on this year, but it's hard for me to get over the hump of where kind of the running back position sits in my mind just because of what I've seen from ETN this year. I don't know how much that changes it, but I don't know what kind of contract would we be talking about for ETN, right? Like, I don't think you're going to have to use, I mean, what would the franchise tag even be?
I think it's like
back?
12.
12, yeah.
Something like $12 million. I would think ETN's got to.
That's way more likely than the linebacker. Getting the franchise.
In terms of the franchise tag, yes. But that's not even the question. Like, I'm not even asking who makes the most economic sense necessarily. Right? Who can they most afford to lose? I'm not, when you use the word afford, I'm not using a financial term. I'm talking about more on-field impact. Whose loss could they absorb the most? And I still, look, ETN's been phenomenal. But I do think they went into this draft thinking that they had found their future players at the position, and they still may have.
Value has grown by the week, probably since March. I mean, he has been so impressive,
no doubt,
in and out of the building. But your point and the overarching problem of the conversation is exactly running back. Theoretically, in this league now, it's unless you are Saquon.
And even Saquon, Saquon with the Giants was a great player. He put up fantastic numbers, but he didn't put up like season-altering. He went from like being a 1,300-yard guy to a 2,000-yard guy because he got the right offensive line and system and all the components around him.
It's a 4 or 5 year shake your hand and thank you position.
Right.
Usually.
And we're at that point now where ETN's, this is 5th year, 4th season of actually playing. And what is that worth to invest in? I do agree that, to me, is the most palatable way to bring him back is under the franchise tag. You might need it for somebody else. I don't know. Like, I don't want to apply the franchise tag to a Van Lanen. The offensive line number is huge. And I don't want to do it with Lloyd either. But this is not about which one is necessarily the easiest to lock up or what's the best financial path. It's
which one would hurt more if you lost.
Right. And I get that the finances is part of it, because if you lose him, all right, I lose him, but I free up maybe $10 million in cap space compared to if I lost the other guy. And what do I do with that cap space? And that's part of the equation as well. I'd probably still vote for Travis Etienne despite the year that he's having. I just think it's a position that you've got to continually renew. They've got a couple of draft picks on the roster, young guys, and I think they're both showing that they're NFL caliber players. And you can go with all those picks you have next year. You can easily add one more along the way, I think, and have a productive backfield. I'd have to see the succession plan if you lost Devin Lloyd. To me, I think it's going to be harder to replace him. And so for that reason, I'd probably go with ETN right now. ETN getting the most votes. Plurality, almost a majority at 49.8%, saying he's the one you could most afford to lose. Cole Van Lanen second, nearly 29%. 18% for Devin Lloyd, only 3% saying Jacoby Meyers. And to your point, John, I think Van Lanen, Meyers is probably the top priority because it's hard to deny how much better the offense in the passing game has gotten when he's gotten here. Now, granted, again, all the pieces are now all getting healthy at the same time.
But you don't want to take that out of the equation.
I don't, personally. And I think Van Lanen, the value of that position, if you look at him and you're the Jags and you think this guy long-term is a better option at left tackle than what we have on the roster, I mean, I don't want – look, you go into the draft next year, you don't have a first-round pick. Are you going to be confident you can land a left tackle and that can start? I am confident you could find a running back that could contribute in a backfield with Tootin and LeQuint Allen.
And an inside linebacker.
And an inside linebacker, more so than I could.
You can find those second, third round.
You know, and you can argue you can find receivers as well, but this guy has reached a certain level of maturity. Like Trevor, at this point, needed a guy not to grow with, but that was already there at a certain level of accomplishment that he could rely on, and we've seen the results. The confidence in Trevor's throws, I think, have gone up dramatically.
The offense has been on an upward arrow since he got here.
All right, if you want to weigh in on that, at MD_1010XL on the X platform, 641-1010 to get you in on the air with John Ogier here. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. When you listen to radio play-by-play, you don't just hear the game, you feel it.
This feel good. That'll feel good.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL. Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville trusts. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminex. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminex knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminex. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminex it. Visit Terminex.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
ET here, and when the lunch hour hits, fuel up like you mean it with lunch at the Lodge at your local Twin Peaks. With hearty, crave-worthy classics that hit the spot. Sink your teeth into our juicy cheeseburger and fries, grilled fresh to order and stacked really high. Or go lighter, but loaded with flavor with our fresh chicken Caesar salad. Or the fan favorite, the turkey avocado smash with sweet potato fries. Really hungry? Our crispy golden chicken tenders and fries are ready when you are. Quick from the kitchen, satisfying on the plate. Join us for lunch at the local Lodge, Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Home of the 29-degree draft.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Somebody asked, trying to think, was it on the text line or on X a moment ago, how do you think the Jags will attack the zone defenses that the Broncos employ? I don't know what Liam Cohen's going to have drawn up special for Denver this week, but you would think this is one of those games that you'd like to establish the run. Now, I would have thought you would have wanted to do that against the Jets, who just gave up 239 on the ground the week before.
They were so focused on stopping the run that I think Liam just said, you know what, we'll throw over you.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to be. That's what you have to be able to do.
You make an adjustment. But if I'm Denver, they probably feel like we can put another man towards the box and stopping the run because we have Surtain. We don't need to play a safety with him. We can go that way. I would think the Jags try to come out and just prove that they can move the ball on the ground. And then you take your shots off of play action as the game goes along. So I would imagine that that's going to be the goal going into it. And I would think Denver is probably wise enough. I would imagine a lot of teams probably try to attack them that way.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great pass rush. They're not as great a run defense as they are a pass rush. And look, generally speaking, the Jaguars are going to believe they can run until you prove it differently. So I expect them to come out and believe they will be the more physical team and act that way until they're proven wrong.
Let's go to the line here with Chris next up on Jaguars Today. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. What's up, man?
Hey, buddy. As far as Denver, I don't think there's going to be a weather issue.
Nope.
But one thing, though, that I do remember back in the day, and it was when Romeo and I used to work in Denver, they tried to push us down the stairs with our Jags gear on. But that's all I remember.
Sounds like assault.
Okay, yeah, that's that. Well, I'm sure that's not the only place where fans have gotten unruly, but hopefully nobody breaks a leg this week if they're in Jags gear. Chris, we're hopeful for that.
Most definitely. And speaking of Romeo, he passed away. We did a celebration of life last night in San Diego, and they put up because he was the #1 Jags fan in San Diego. They put a Jaguars. We'll always have the beat for Super DJ Romeo. They put it right there in the club, Jaguars jersey and everything, and we had to give him one final Duval. So anyway, he used to wake up every morning, 3-hour time difference there, to listen to your show. So I know he really appreciated. He was a Dempsey fan. So again, I appreciate everything.
I actually met Romeo
Jags,
about
man.
10 years ago.
Thank
Good
you,
man.
Chris. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry to hear that. I actually met Romeo when we were out there. It's been 10 years. And good man. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, God bless all the Jag fans that are scattered all over the place because you don't back up all the times, right? I mean, and I'm not saying that. I know there are patches of Bolt City Brigade clubs all over, and there's groups that get together, and there's probably more than you realize out there. But we see it every day, Tony, on social media. People from literally all over the world, but definitely all over America. People call this show every Monday when we have Reaction Monday. When the Jags win, we get calls from all over the place. Right now, it's a high of 69 today in Denver.
Yeah.
That's
supposed to be
high
balmy.
50s.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, no, right. It's supposed, no precipitation. It's going to be a beautiful day to play football. Nice and cool, crisp, but it's not going to be,
it's what the Jags played in this week. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least an altitude.
A mile high, yeah.
Teams win in Denver.
There's no question. The altitude's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It is a definite part of the home field advantage when you play at thin air, which is part of the reason why felt like Travis Hunter's issue was never going to be conditioning with the Jags. I mean, he played 125 snaps in games at a mile high altitude, and somebody said I saw a random post on Twitter. We're doing all this with the Ferrari still parked in the garage. I mean, you look at it, and next year, I don't know. Who knows what would have happened this year if he had Travis Hunter? Maybe he would have come on and provided what Jacoby Meyers is doing in terms of reliability with the hands and some of the crossing patterns over the middle. Or maybe they would have said, hey, we got enough, and you would have had ups and downs, and the consistency of Meyers would have been missed at this point. We just don't know.
Sure. It felt like it was coming on right when
it did. No, it absolutely did, Tony. But you can't know, right? Things change all the time. We're talking about Tua got benched today, they've announced, and how quickly that is turned around. He led the league in completion percentage last year. He led the league in passing yards the year before. It goes quickly. But, the Jags don't have a first-round pick, but they are going to add Travis Hunter back. And they're going to add Caleb Ransaw back.
Those are two significant.
They were the top two picks that they made this year. So, all right, we'll come back and look at some of your responses to today's question of the day poll. We gave you where the numbers stand, but some of the reasoning behind it we'll get into coming back on the other side as we tie things up with some last thoughts with John Oehser as the Jags get ready to take on the Denver Broncos this Sunday. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Johnny O, and Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
It's the end-of-year sales event going on now at Atlantic Infinity. This is Hayes Carlyon. Get 0% interest on select new Infinity models and special lease offers on the stunning QX60. Luxury, performance, and style, all in one drive. All new vehicles are backed with the exclusive Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value just for buying smarter. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com to see all new models or visit the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Need your weekly fix for Mexican street food? One Night Taco Stand has Jacksonville covered. Mondays, any burrito, just $7.99 with a soft drink purchase. On Taco Tuesday, enjoy any taco for just $3.49. And on Wednesdays, kids 12 and under eat for just $2. Perfect for the whole family. Find One Night Taco Stand in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
If Santa had a pit crew, it'd look a lot like Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Fast, friendly, and they get the job done in 15 minutes while you stay in your car. No appointment needed. Just pull up and let their technicians handle the rest. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and ranked #1 Quick Lube by Forbes, Valvoline delivers service even Santa would trust. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, helping Jacksonville reduce the stress of holiday travel.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Boye Oluokun flew high against the Jets in the Sunshine State. The 6'2 linebacker recorded 8 tackles over the weekend, with 3 being solo and assisting on 5. Number 23 was flying like an eagle, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors before the new year? During Renewal by Anderson's December sales event, buy one, get one 40% off. And with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months, it's never been easier to say yes. Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable year-round. Offer ends December 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh, noes.
Served up by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
All right, some of the responses to today's question of the day. The numbers really haven't moved here. Travis ETN getting the most votes on which player the Jags could most afford to let go out of the quartet of ETN, Lloyd, Meyers, and Van Lanen. Ed said, I think the choice is between Lloyd and ETN. I agree with Ed. Lloyd's been amazing, but it's just one season. ETN's had several good years. Off-ball linebacker versus running back is about the same value. Not when you get to the price tag, right? And look, the Jags are not going to tag Van Lanen with the franchise tag. That's estimated to be $27 million. They're not going up to that to pay Cole Van Lanen. They're not going to franchise tag Devin Lloyd, I don't believe, and pay him $27 million for a year. They're not going to franchise tag Jacoby Myers. I think they'll work hard to get that done. And I think Jacoby Myers is probably realizing this is a great place for me to put up some numbers for the next few years. You know what I mean? And kind of cement whatever my legacy is going to be.
It's not going to be cheap, though.
No, but I don't think it's going to be near $30 million. And if it is, I don't know if I'm paying that, quite frankly. You know? And then at running back, it's only, I said only. How will Travis Etienne get by if he gets tagged for $14.1 million next year? How would he do it? Hard to say.
People overcome things.
They do. It's tough. Like all those Knicks last night, man. They won. Every member of the Knicks, bench rider, all of them got like $520,000 for winning this silly in-season tournament.
Well, ain't that good in New York?
Hey, but we're flush is what we are right now. So other comments here. Mike D, like the name, says people saying Cole Van Lanen is the most expendable have not been watching. Agree with that as well. But Andrew's counterpoint, love the Cole Van Lanen arc, but I fully believe Adoga and Milam were brought in and expected to do similar. But they're not.
Right.
I mean, like, you did draft Milam. He's your highest.
Yeah, you didn't draft those guys to do what Van Lanen can do.
No, but to
the level at every
maybe break
position.
through on the offensive line at some point. I don't like the versatility is one thing. Is Cole Van Lanen your best left tackle?
Right.
That to me is where the value. It's not. The versatility is great, and there is a value to that. It's trumped by is he the best left tackle on the roster?
You wouldn't be sweating versatility the way you do a left tackle.
But my point with Milam and Adoga or any of these other guys, this is a team that has shown you now, or an organization, a brain trust, that they're going to let results speak for themselves. Mm-hmm. They're not going to say, well, we paid him X, so he has to play over this guy. So I think if Milam had shown that he's one of your best options anywhere on the line, he'd be starting right now. You know, and that doesn't mean Milam won't eventually be starting for this football team. And, would it be the worst thing in the world if you had a guy that you felt like was starter caliber, or maybe a couple of them that couldn't break through because the other 5 are playing well enough?
You have to have that.
Be great. What kind of grade would you give the O-line overall?
Oh, B+. I mean, I don't know if you want to give an A. A couple of games that weren't fantastic, but maybe an A. I mean, it's been really good. A couple of the high sack games, Seattle's 7, my understanding was a lot of those was not the offensive line just getting crushed. They've not had a horrifically bad game all year, and they've been really good. You've established the run. You've had, 4 or 5 games where you haven't allowed a sack? I'd say it's pretty good, but my grade means nothing compared to Leon Searcy's grade.
Of course, and we'll get to that coming up. Jags have given up 32 sacks. They're kind of middle of the pack.
15th, yeah.
As far as sacks per game.
Yeah, they had that stretch where they gave up 19 in that 3. I mean, 5 to the Texans and 7 to the Rams in Seattle. Outside of that, it's been really good.
Saw this from D-Rock. Defensive end Josh Hines-Allen not spotted during the open media portion of Jaguars practice. Danny Strigo, who's also, he hurt his ankle versus the Jets, also not out there. Anything on the Josh Hines-Allen front?
That's first I've heard of the Josh Hines-Allen.
All right, well, that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Your primary edge rusher, the way the season is playing out right there, would not like for him to not be available this week. Way too early to know that. It's only Wednesday, for goodness sakes. But just passing along the information that we have. And with that, let's talk to that former offensive lineman standout.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs. What kind of grade would you give the Jags O-line overall for their play this year?
Right now, B-.
B-, okay?
Yeah.
Tell me why. What goes into that grade?
Well, I mean, there was struggles early on. I mean, real fast start, controlling the football, protecting the passer. There was a little no with the Rams game, Seahawks game. Then there was the bye, and down the stretch they've been a lot better. Then they've had to mix and match guys, put guys in here, guys in there, whatever. So I give them a B-. I'm a little harsh.
Yeah, well, that's fine. No, I don't think it's unfair. They're middle of the pack right now in terms of sacks allowed. They have had a number of games where Trevor has not gotten hit, but you also have to consider, the Jets aren't exactly flush with pass rush right now, right? Denver's going to be a much better test this week.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. If they can shut out the Denver's pass rush in this game with all the crowd noise, the silent count, and all the things that factor in as far as their 4-man front, then you've got something special going on. Right?
Yeah, I mean, look, if they give up a couple sacks and they're not, backbreakers, forced fumble, turnover type plays.
Yeah.
I mean, that's football. That's life in the big leagues, man. Denver has good players on defense. We have a pretty solid offensive line. They're probably going to get a few wins along the way.
You know how you neutralize that pass rush?
How's that?
Run the ball.
Run
the ball, you neutralize the pass rush, especially in this hostile environment with the magnitude of this game. If you get back to the business that you were at the start of the season where you run the ball a lot more effectively, I think that neutralizes it.
I think that's got to be the attempt, right? And you got to think Denver knows that. So what is the counterpunch that Liam has if they do put 7 in the box, 8 in the box at times, and try to play Surtain one-on-one on the outside.
We got to beat man coverage.
Well, that's right. You got to have some kind of counterpunch to it, I'm sure. Leon, what's coming up on the program for you guys?
Big game next week with the Jags in Denver. We're going to go down a little memory lane on 96 game. Talk about that, how effective we were in that game. Not the same magnitude, but it has a little playoff push towards the fact that the 1 seed's playing the 3 seed. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
No, there's no doubt. I think Denver, I think the Jags sit in Denver's mind a lot more than vice versa because of that, that win in 96. I think, fan base wise, I don't like Denver's a good team. They've beaten us at times. We've beaten them. We've gotten over on them. And I think it burns the Bronco fans when you bring up the Jaguars.
Yeah. I mean, they won the Super Bowl the next 2 years.
That's right.
It could have been a dynasty type of conversation with the Broncos, and the Jaguars prevented that.
Could have been right. If they had won, any team that wins 3 in a row is going to immediately claim that they're the greatest dynasty of all time because it's never been done. All right, sirs, have a great show today.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you as well. Johnny O, where will we catch your work this week? What do you got cooking up?
At 4 p.m. today, I'll be on the Huddle Up podcast with Bucky Brooks and your good friend J.P. Shadrick.
Love J.P. Shadrick.
And I will have Cole Van Lannon on the Ozone podcast this week, which should drop on Friday. And maybe I'll ask him who's the most valuable out of those four.
Oh, the most expendable. Yes. Who could they most afford to let go? That'd be great. Yeah, put him on the spot.
Cole's a humble guy. I doubt
appreciate that. He'd probably say him, but I hope he's humble when it comes to how much he's going to ask for.
Yeah, I doubt that'll be the case.
Hey, it'll be his agent, and just happy he's playing very well. And I've said it many times. How many teams wish they had signed him and given up a 6th-round pick this offseason to the Jags? And that they could have done that and probably could have locked him in for 3 years for a reasonable amount of money.
Yeah, no doubt.
And would have looked like geniuses at this point. All right, John, have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Yep, and we'll see you Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. We will. We'll see you next Wednesday. Mike DeRocco in tomorrow. We'll all be benefiting from the poor week that Dylan Denmark had, as he will buy us breakfast tomorrow. So looking forward to that. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you to Andrew Mason for joining us from Denver today to preview the Broncos as well. That'll do it for us. XL Primetime is next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the renewal.